There are 4 stages to the grammar work in Open Mind. The first stage is called language in context. Whenever students encounter grammar or are going to be working with grammar, I always want them to approach it on a level of meaning first before they then start to look at structures. Grammar is a tool for encoding meaning in language. Okay? So typically, students will be given a text or a dialogue where the grammar I want them to work with is embedded in there, but the first thing I want is them to respond to it on the level of meaning. What's going on in this text? What's your personal response to it? What's it about? Etc. Then we have a section connected to that, a section called Notice, where I want students to begin to look at the morphological features of the grammar structure that they're about to study. Something about the shape of the grammar, just to begin to approach it. Then the second section of these 4 sections is called Analyze, and this is where the inductive part of the grammar work happens, where students look back at the text or the dialogue, or sometimes it's something that they hear as well. And the work on the page guides them through creating the grammar rule or analysing the structure for themselves, which will make it stick far more effectively than simply presenting it and expecting them to read and remember it. The third section then is called Practice, and this is quite controlled practice. The focus there is on accuracy. And then the final section of each grammar page is called Now You Do It. And what we're trying to do there is create the circumstances or create a task where the natural thing to do is to use the grammar that students have just learned. And so this is now much freer practice. It's personalised, but I want the student to, through this section, I want the student to own the grammar. Flexibility can be a double-edged sword, because we need to build in flexibility for those teachers who want to have that kind of control, but at the same time it has to work straight off the page for the teacher who's coming to it cold with relatively little preparation perhaps. So it's got to work in both those kind of circumstances. In terms of the teacher who has a lot of time to prepare, one of the key things that we did when we were putting it together was we made sure that the sections in Open Mind in a unit can be taught in any order. So it's not as if one section relies on something that they've done earlier in that unit, because you as a teacher may well want to be in control of, okay, I think I want to do the speaking next, or I want to do the listening because I want to focus on this, or I want to focus on this. So there's flexibility built into, if you do have the time to prepare and you want that kind of control, that teacher has flexibility built in. For the teacher who doesn't have the time for that kind of preparation, or wants to, open the book and go, Open Mind is fantastic for that. One thing is that we've got these, the first spread of each unit we call the opener. And so this is the way of, it references the skills that students are going to be doing, it references the topics that they're going to be talking about, and so this is really, it orientates the teacher and the students towards the whole unit that they're going to do. So as a teacher, you can open up the book, you can look at the opener, and you know exactly what this section of work is going to be about. And there are questions and discussions on that opener spread that just start everybody's creative juices flowing and gets them warmed up and gets the topic going. And the way a lot of courses are written, where there's typically an opening reading spread, followed by some grammar, followed by some listening and speaking, and the listening may well rely on vocabulary that's been introduced in the reading, for example. We deliberately avoided having everything quite so interlinked because we wanted precisely that kind of flexibility. So you may decide that there's something in the listening that you really want to focus on first before you do the reading, or vice versa. So we were very careful to put it together that's possible, that you can take charge of the course book in that way.